Welcome back to episode 62. So, in the drive to get the engine back in, what I'm going to be looking at this week is, I think last week one of you guys mentioned look at the HVAC system. The fuse pack is a lot easier to get to while the engine's out. So I'm going to be trying to look at that. I also have a concern about, now I've decided to not do the aircon at the moment. That means, and I'm going to delete the smog pump. So on the left side of the crank there are going to be no belts pulling on that side, whereas on the other side I've got the alternator and the power steering pump. So I'm worried about, and I seem to remember someone maybe 6-9 months ago mentioning it, that the crank will be pulled in one direction and that will wear the bearing unevenly or badly. So I'm wondering whether I can use the smog pump, strip it out and use that on the left hand side to equal up the pull. Equal the load. So I'm going to be looking at that as well. As ever, thank you very much for watching. Click the subscribe, like, leave me comments. Leave me comments about whether I should do this smog pump. That would be really handy. But let's just get in there and see how I get on this week. Right, time for the bonnet to come off. There's a resistor pack in here somewhere that I want to look at. Still waiting to work out exactly where. But this needs to come off for the engine to go in anyway, so let's try and do it. I've not had it off for quite a while. There we go. Right, so there's a few bits I want to look at up here. It's a card, bits and bobs, but that's good. Right, I'm just starting to think about, this is the smog pump, air filter, whatever you want to call it. I think it goes by both names. I don't want to refit this back on the car because I don't need it. It's to do with emissions in the UK. Mine's going to be pre-MOT, so it won't need to have any tests. So I just won't need it. But what I'm worried about is I've got the crank, and on one side I'm going to have the alternator and presumably the power steering pump pulling the crank one way, and on the other side goes this and the now broken aircon condenser pump. So there's nothing equalising the pull on the crank, and I've made the decision to leave the aircon until later because that's going to be a much more involved project. That's what I would call a winter project. So I'm now wondering about if I can modify this air pump to still fit on the car but to supply or to offer very little resistance. If I turn it now, okay, it's an old one, but it's pumping. I can hear it pumping inside. So I'm just wondering about taking the back side off of this and just having a look and seeing if we can turn it basically into a freewheeling lump of iron that at least I can put a pulley around to offer that counter resistance or counter pull on the crank. Now I've seen some pictures online of a pulley on a plate, but I don't have the ability to make that, and I don't seem to be able to find one to buy. So if I can basically gut this and turn it just into a freewheeling pulley, that would be pretty good. But let's crack on just by pulling the back off and we'll see what we've got. Right, I think the camera actually ran out of juice. I managed to get the end bit off, so now looking inside, it looks pretty straightforward. These little paddles that spin around, that move the air, I guess, isn't it? It's an air pump. So what I'm trying to do is just undo. Right, so I've stripped out the internals. So this now has nothing inside it, which I think is okay to do. I'm just going to reassemble. Right, let me explain my current problem. So before the engine goes in, I want to have a little play around here and just tidy up and make sure everything's working. So the obvious thing to look at is the HVAC, the blower. I never liked the term HVAC, but I know what it is. There's a resistor pack in here that I want to check whether it works. I've got a spare, but to check whether it works, I need the fan, the blower to work. It doesn't work. So I've connected that battery. I've checked the relay works. I've put a fuse in fuse 17, which was missing, and it blows straight away, or within 10 seconds it melts. So what I need to do is try and work out why that's happening. What I'm thinking is we'll cut straight to the chase and have a look at this blower and see whether the blower actually works. Does it actually turn? If it turns, then I know that the problem's somewhere else. Clearly, it's further up or in between the two. If it doesn't turn, then we know that we've got a problem here and it's probably shorting out somewhere inside. Now, I've got some strange wiring going on. I think that's a broad statement, and it's true about the whole car. But under the controls of the HVAC, there's a lot of snipped wires and things. So I'm going to leave that until I actually take the dash out, and we'll investigate that further. At the moment, I'm going to just sort of progress with the assumption it all works. But what I'm looking at here is a connector that's not connected, and it's actually wired to go off to the little water pump that sits at the front bumper, and I don't know why. I really don't know why, but I'm going to try and work out what's going on there. So that's the work. Let's get in there, see if we can get the blower at least turning. Right, it seems pretty straightforward. It's this connector here that we need to have out. I'm just looking how she unclips. Oh, okay, not even that sophisticated. So I'm going to put a battery on here just very gently, because it won't be fused, and if it's shorted out, we're going to have ourselves some fireworks. So let me get my small battery. I'm tempted actually to fuse it just in case, and we'll just see what it does. Right, and next, not particularly ideal because I could do with some little crocodile clips to hold the things on, but let's see if we can do it with minimum fuss. I think we know the answer to that. So if I can just wing it a little bit, we can get one in there. What I've done is I've soldered a fuse in line here. Now if I'm lucky, these wires will stay in there. Why isn't it? Oh, it says sparked. But the fan is not turning, so I think we can conclude that the fan doesn't work. So we need to take this unit out, which is going to be a bigger job, but I think we just have to go ahead with it. Just looking to see how I do it. Right, to remove the blower unit, it looks like we just undo this here, because there's a join here, and I believe there's a couple of bolts. I think there's one down there, there's a screw down there, and I think there's something under here that we'll find. So let's have a little look. Let's give it a quick squirt. Again, ideally I would have done this a bit earlier. Right, it looks like that's probably all I'm going to get. I thought the whole thing would come apart, but it certainly comes apart that much. It's a bit sort of corroded on, and we're okay. Let's get a light in there and have a look what's going on. Like there's cobwebs and things inside. But we can get in there now. Right, I'm going to use the socket set just to get down there. It's a bit easier. And I'm not sure if you get in, am I? Alright. This might be a little bit big. Or it's been rounded off by... it's gone flat. It may have been rounded off by a previous owner. Let's just have a look. Right, I've managed to get a screwdriver to go through the hole and onto the screw inside there. I managed to use my endoscope to look on the underside of it. And after a lot of pressing, you should... Oh, I'm losing my camera. It's just on the top corner. You should just be able to see it turning. So I know that it will undo, and I can see that it's not like a little fixing that's twisting on the back side. It's actually a nice sized bracket. So with penetrating fluid, I'm pretty sure that'll come out eventually. You can see how rusty it is, but I'm pretty sure we'll get that out. Right, hopefully you can see on the camera, although it's a bit side on, I've managed to get the screw that far out. It's coming out very, very slowly. So it's, if I can, I'll show you the underside. The problem with it is it's about to strip the screw head, I think. So what I've put on it is these sort of molar grips that grip the screwdriver really well. It means I can put all my weight on top of it. Where is it? So it's there. This is the, I don't know if I can get you a side shot of it, but that's what's left. There's only a little bit left to do now. But it is about to strip, so I'm starting to think of plan B in case it does. I would say after a good hour of fighting that screw, I finally got it down to about the last 0.5 millimetre and it sheared off, which is a win-win because it's now loose here. I don't care if it shears off or not, it's going to have to come out and I can drill and retap or whatever, as long as I can get it out. My nightmare was that it stripped the top of that screw and I'm stuck. And I was trying to work out, could I get a Dremel in there and just slice it off? Possibly, it's going to be tight. But either way, problem resolved, it sheared off. The one time I think I wanted something to shear, which is pretty cool. Right, I think, I'm just taking this bracket off here. Now I've taken a few screws out inside the glove box, sort of area. It's very hard work in the glove box. I think some water damage has kind of rusted most things in there. It's not a pretty sight, so I've undone what I can. I can't tell if it's the right bits or not, and so what we're going to do is just hope this lifts out, because it's still connected. I was kind of hoping I got the right one already. Yeah, that's definitely connected. I can't see where that screw is. It's very hard from the inside to see where it could be. I was hoping because I've undone a few screws back there, I was hoping I'd got it, but clearly not, because it's still linked. I just can't see where it is. It's making it pretty tricky. So the paint's dried on the air pump now, so I think if you remember I stripped out the, if I can find them here, these are the little blades that go inside that sort of scrape and flick the air, obviously pumping inside here. I've stripped those out because I don't want to use it as an air pump. I want to use it to balance the crank and give it something else to equalise the pull of the alternator belt and the power steering belt. So that's what this is going to do. So with its guts stripped out, it spins relatively freely. It's not going to suck much power. And I've just painted it just to make it look good, or tidier. So now we just need to assemble. I've greased the bearing in there. Bearing feels pretty smooth. I'm hoping we can put it all back together like that. It's still relatively smooth. So we'll buzz the bolts in. I don't know what to do about these two holes at the moment. I may try and find the rubber plugs to go in those. Obviously this used to fit on top, this housing, like that, or whichever way around, doesn't matter. Probably was actually like, well, whatever, doesn't matter. If it's easier, I may fit this back on, because it does block those holes up and it's got little little gauzes on there that will stop things going in. But I'll decide about that later, it's not a big deal now. So now we're just going to bang the bolts back in, put the pulley back on. I've just sort of painted up both bits to make it tidy. I've cleaned this up, replaced these bolts because they were really dead. And that'll be ready to go back on the car. I'll probably put it back on when the engine's in, so it'll just go in a box. But let's just put it all back together now. There it is, all done up, ready to go back on the car. So very briefly, just showing the problem here. This is the footwell is just down here. There's the fuse board. This is the bottom of the airbox. The blower is on the other side of that.
Now on every other car I've seen videos of, there's 2 screws here to undo and the blower comes out. One of them holds the blower in place, but there's no screws on mine, so I'm just working on taking this out. I'm going to heat it up with a hairdryer and see if I can convince the glue to let go, which should allow this just to drop down, and then I can get to the last screw.
Right, I hope you can see clearly what I was doing on the other side. Basically in the footwell, I used my little endoscope and poked it up through, and I could see the rusty screw, which I don't know how, but it's got a screwdriver on it and managed to undo it without it sort of rounding out the head. So now, this little boy here should come out. The question is, as always, can I get it to come out? I don't think we're any closer, to be honest. But we're out. Okay, a little rubber cap came off in the process. But we can have a look at this, and this really is absolutely gunked up. You can't see from there. But that is full of crud and rusty, and it doesn't turn. So let's start renovating that, get it back to life, and then we can pop it back in. But I'm glad to have got that out while the engine's still out. That would have been a lot harder not being able to stand in there and get to a lot of the bits. Putting it back in, I'm not worried about. That should be straightforward. Right, I'm going to leave it there this week. Happy to get the blower out. It's not looking good, but at least it's out the car. That'll be in one of the up and coming episodes. I'm not going to do it sort of in the next couple of weeks. I'm still focused very much on getting the engine in. I just wanted that out, so I knew I could get it out. Putting it back in, it doesn't matter if the engine is in or not. What else did we do this week? The smog. Using the smog pump as a sort of load balancer, if you like, against the pull of the alternator and this power steering pump. Let me know what you think about that. I've not seen anyone else doing it, but it seems to make sense. It doesn't add a great deal of drag on the engine, and it looks like it connects up pretty easily and without the aircon housing, which I already got powder coated, but it doesn't matter. So let me know about that. Leave me a comment on that one, please. I've still got a sore throat, so tune in next week and see whether my sore throat's gone and whether I start putting the engine back in, which I'm really keen to get going on. I think I've touched everything that I need to touch in the engine bay that is easier when the engine is out. But let's tune in and see. I'm looking forward to that. As ever, thanks for watching. Click the like, subscribe, leave me comments, and I'll see you next week.